No one in the grand marble hall could quite believe what they were witnessing. The chandeliers shimmered above, casting golden light across rows of stunned guests, but all eyes were fixed on the unlikely couple standing at the altar. On one side stood Ayan, a 20-year-old university student, dressed in a borrowed suit, his hands trembling slightly, his heart pounding louder than the whispers around him. On the other side stood Eleanor Whitmore, 71 years old, a billionaire, a woman whose name carried power, wealth, and influence across continents. The 51-year age gap between them wasn't just a number, it was a storm of judgment, curiosity, and disbelief. Ayan hadn't always imagined this kind of life. Just months ago, he was struggling to pay his tuition, living in a cramped hostel room, skipping meals so he could afford books. His life was a constant battle between ambition and survival. Every day, he walked miles to attend classes, dreaming of a future where he could lift his family out of poverty. But life has a strange way of rewriting destinies. Their first meeting wasn't romantic, it was accidental. Ayan had been working part-time as a waiter at a high-profile charity event, an event Eleanor herself was hosting. That night, surrounded by politicians, celebrities, and billionaires, Ayan felt invisible. Until he made a mistake. A simple slip of the hand sent a glass of expensive wine spilling across Eleanor's table. The entire room froze. In that moment, Ayan expected anger, humiliation, maybe even losing his job. But Eleanor did something no one expected. She laughed. It wasn't a mocking laugh. It was warm, genuine. She looked at Ayan not as a servant, not as a mistake, but as a person. "It's just wine," she said softly, her voice calm and kind. "Are you all right?" That moment changed everything. Over the next few weeks, their paths crossed again, sometimes by coincidence, sometimes not. Eleanor noticed something in Ayan that others didn't. His intelligence, his humility, his quiet strength. She began asking about his life, his studies, his dreams. And for the first time, Ayan found someone who truly listened. But the world outside wasn't so kind. Rumors began to spread. People whispered that Ayan was after her money. That Eleanor had lost her senses. Friends, colleagues, even strangers judged them without understanding the truth. The pressure grew heavier each day. Ayan himself struggled with doubt. Was this real? Could someone like Eleanor truly care for someone like him? One evening, sitting across from her in a quiet garden, he finally asked the question that had been haunting him. "Why me?" Eleanor smiled, her eyes reflecting years of wisdom and loneliness. "Because you see me," she said. "Not my money. Not my age. Just me." That answer stayed with him. Their bond deepened, not through luxury or wealth, but through conversations, shared silences, and a rare kind of emotional connection that defied logic. Eleanor, despite her success, had lived a life filled with loneliness. She had lost people, trusted the wrong ones, and built walls around her heart. Ayan, in his simplicity, broke those walls without even trying. But love, especially a love like theirs, comes with a price. The backlash was brutal. News channels picked up the story. Social media exploded with opinions. Some mocked them. Some criticized. Some even accused Ayan of manipulation. The world turned their private connection into a public spectacle. Ayan's university friends distanced themselves. His family, shocked and confused, questioned his decision. "People will never understand," Eleanor told him one day. "You have to decide if their opinions matter more than your truth." That was the moment Ayan made his choice. He chose her. Not because of her wealth. Not because of the life she could give him. But because, in a world that constantly overlooked him, she saw his worth. And now, standing at the altar, with judgment hanging in the air, Ayan took a deep breath. The priest asked the question. The room fell silent. "Do you take Eleanor Whitmore as your lawfully wedded wife?" For a second, time stood still. Then Ayan spoke. "I do." Gasps echoed across the hall. Eleanor's eyes filled with tears, not of sadness, but of something rare and powerful. Acceptance. Hope. Love. As they exchanged vows, something shifted. Not in the crowd, not in the whispers, but in the truth of their connection. Because love, real love, doesn't follow rules. It doesn't care about age, status, or expectations. It simply exists. But their story didn't end there. Marriage was only the beginning. Because soon, Ayan would face a reality far more challenging than public judgment, a test that would prove whether his love was truly unconditional or just another illusion the world had predicted. And that's where everything would change. If this story touched your heart and made you question what love really means, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more powerful, emotional stories like this. Your support helps bring these unforgettable journeys to life.